Good afternoon, and Akwaaba, welcome to Akwaaba Yoga. Today is Sunday, the 9th, I think, of October. Good to be back on the mat today. My name is Mark, if you're not joining before, if you're watching on playback. And yeah, looking forward to a 25-minute session today. Going to incorporate a flow with a few holding poses just to really focus on stretching out the muscles, relieving tension, and hopefully relieving any stresses that might be going on in the body or the mind. So, yeah, if it's the first time practicing or we've been practicing for ages, again, just listen to your body and yeah, go at your pace. Be mindful if you're pregnant, if you've got any injuries, and to feel free to take adjustments or modifications as you see fit. But yeah, let's get started. We're going to let's start in child's pose. We're going to start in Bilasana. So let's come down, knees apart, feet together. So we're facing the front of our mats. So let's start by just bringing the bum down to the heels. Place the hands on the thighs, roll the shoulders back. And start to walk the hands forward. Let the arms go long. Start to drop the head. Just let gravity take control here. The head may or may not come down to the mat. And as we're inhaling here, let's just feel the stomach pressing against the thighs. If it's feeling a bit uncomfortable, feel free just to press up onto the shins, just to lift the bum of the heels, just give yourself a bit of space. So you want to come into a comfortable position, one that isn't causing you any pain. Bilasana is a good pose for some, maybe not for all. It's one that I enjoy coming into. To stretch out through the shoulders, through the thoracic spine. Slowly I feel a release in the hips, the longer I'm able to hold this. So again, just take note of where you're feeling the stretch in your body here. We have 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. Just keep the gentle inhale and exhale going. Just slowly start to tiptoe the fingertips over towards the left side of the mat. Keep the head wherever it is. Just take the arms as far as they will go. Maybe place the right hand on top of the left. So we're finding the stretch through the right side of the body. Stretching out through the intercostal muscles on the right side. And slowly start to walk the hands back towards center. And this time tiptoe. Just take them over towards the right side of the mat. This time I'm seeing if we can place the left hand on top of the right hand, just to come a bit deeper into the left side of the body. Stretching out through the other side. And each inhale, feel as if you're taking the breath in into the left ribs. Let's walk the hands back towards center. And then press up onto the shins as we come up into our tabletop. So the hands are stacked underneath the shoulders. Let's come into cat and cow. So the hands, the knees, the feet are hip distance apart. Start to barrel roll the belly down. Take the gaze up. Deep breath in. Exhale to round in the upper back. And again, deep breath in. So you take the gaze up. The belly comes down. Tailbone goes high. Exhale to round. And again, deep breath in. Exhale. Draw the shoulder blades apart.
Let's come back to a neutral spine. I'm going to just walk the left foot back and come up high onto the left toes. Let's take the right hand, place in the center of the mat. Drop down onto the left heel. Start to lift up through the left hand. Taking that left hand up towards the ceiling. Take the gaze up towards that left hand as we open up through the front of the chest. For this, if you're yawning, body over, open, over. Yeah, open up through the front of the chest. And on the exhale, bring the left hand down. Come back into our tabletop and let's come into the other side. So this time I'm walking the right leg back, coming up high onto the right toes, dropping down onto the right heel. So the right sole of the foot is flat on the mat. The left hand, just inch it into the center of the mat. Let's open up the chest again by lifting up the right arm towards the ceiling. Yawn the body open. Come to a nice stretch through the front of the body. Gaze up towards the ceiling. And on the exhale, let's bring the hands back down towards the mat. Come back into our tabletop. Let's curl the toes under. Lift up the knees as we come into our downward facing dog. Just high in the toes and just lifting each heel one at a time to walk out through each leg as we're stretching out through the calf muscles. And slowly, let's energetically draw the heels down towards the mat. Again, the goal isn't to necessarily touch the floor of the heels. Just energetically draw them down. Press the hands into the mats. On the next breath, I start to walk the hands towards the feet. So we're coming into Ragdoll. And the back of my mat, just slowly start to sway the body. Come into a bend into the knees. Sway the body from left to right. Maybe grab opposite elbows. Slowly come into stillness. The arms, the head is heavy. We're pressing our feet into the mat as we slowly start to wind up. One vertebra at a time, keeping the head, the arms heavy. So you come into Bilasana, mountain pose. Let's roll the shoulders back, face the palms forwards, take the gaze towards the front of the room. Take a deep inhale in here. And sigh it out through the mouth. On the next breath, let's inhale to take the arms up towards the ceiling. Let the hands come into prayer at the top. The gaze is up towards the ceiling. On the exhale, the prayer comes in to the center of our chest. Inhale to take the prayer high. Exhale to come into our forward fold. Utkatasana. Bend into the knees, bending from the hips. The arms, the head is heavy. Inhale, halfway lift. Pressing the hands into the shins. Exhale to release. Inhale to swoop the arms up. This time I'm coming into chair pose. So keeping a bend in the knees. Our tailbone goes back. The cone is that anterior tilt. The arms are up towards the front diagonal. Taking that gaze into the hands. Firing up through the thighs here for 3, for 2, for 1. Wow, press into the feet as we come into a standing posture, taking our hands into the center of the chest. Inhale to take the prayer up towards the ceiling once again. Follow the hands of the gaze. Exhale to bend from the hips. Utkatasana. We're coming down to our forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to release. Swoop the arms up towards the front diagonal. Bend into the knees for a chair pose. Exhale, press the feet into the mat. Hands come into prayer. So standing nice and tall. Let's go again. Inhale to draw the prayer up. Exhale to come to our forward fold. Bending from the hips. Maybe take a bend into the knees as you come down. The head of the arms are heavy. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, soften to release. Inhale to come into our chair pose. For 2. For 1. Exhale, this time we're coming into our forward fold. So dive back down towards the mat, bending from the hips. Just bend into the knees as much as we need. Keep bending, bending, bending until you can touch the mat. So we're going to walk the hands forward on the mat to come into our Kumbhakasana, our high plank. So we're long through the body here. Engaging through the core. Feel free to take any variation. So you can drop down onto the knees. This is still high plank. Whichever variation we're in, we're here for another 4. Another 3. Another 2. Another 1. So rock falls into the toes. Bend into the elbows for a low plank. Press through the toes as we press our hands into the floor. Drawing the elbows into the ribs for our upward facing dog. Exhale, curl the toes under. Downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. Exhale out. On the next breath, we're going to lift up through the right leg so it's parallel with the floor. On the next breath, we'll draw in the knee through the body. In place in the right foot at the front of the mat, just inside of the right hand. So in that, what's that, like that runner starting pose. We're high on the back toes here. The heels pressing towards the back of the room. So we're nice and strong through that back leg. Equally nice and strong through the back leg by dropping onto that left knee. We're here for 3 breaths. For 2. For 1. And slowly, let's start to peel our chest away from the right thigh. Let's keep a bend in that right knee. So your left knee's down on the mat or high for that back leg. Let's engage through our core. Nice and tall through the torso. Let's float the arms up to the ceiling here. On next breath, we're dropping that left heel down. We're going to come into our warrior 2. So we're opening up through the hips here, opening the body. When you feel nice and stable through the right foot, let's take the arms up, taking the right arm towards the front of the room, the left arm towards the back. We're holding it here for a count of 3, a count of 2, a count of 1. I'm going to come straight into a side angle lunge. So placing the right arm just inside of the right thigh. As we did at the beginning, we're going to open up the body towards the left side of the room, taking the left arm up towards the ceiling. For 2. For 1. Let's bring that left hand down towards the mat. Spin onto the left toes. Together, let's all drop onto that left knee. And start to walk the hands back. So coming into a half splits. So we're high on that right heel. We're curling our right toes towards our face. And then start to walk the hands forward on the mat. If the hands are quite reaching the floor, feel free to just take the left hand and place it on the right thigh, maybe the right shin. Just edge the body forward. We're energetically drawing our chest towards that right thigh to help us find a deeper stretch into that right hamstring. maybe start to engage through that right quad. A right quad now, right hamstring act as opposite. So when the right quad is engaged, it helps to release that for that right hamstring for 2, for 1. Slowly start to come out of the pose by taking a bend back into that right knee. Let's take both hands on the inside of the right foot and as gracefully or ungracefully, no one's judging us here. Let's swoop that right foot back towards the back of the mat and let's come back into our tabletop. I'm going to curl the toes under here, press our hands into the mat, lift the knees off the floor, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in here through the nose and sigh it out through the mouth. And again, in your own time. And when you come into the sigh, start to feel you're softening into the shoulders, releasing any stress, anxiety that you might have arrived to the mat with. Just use the time you have on a mat to treat this as your own safe space, your island. Let's come into the left side. So we're going to start by lifting up the left leg, so it's parallel with the floor. And on the exhale, we're drawing that left knee through. The body stepping that left foot just on the inside of the left hand. Again, we're here for 3 breaths. In that runner's starting position, again, you can either keep the right knee up off the floor or drop it onto the mat for another 2. Another 1. We're going to come into Crescent Lunge once again by peeling our chest away from the left thigh. So again, we're just exploring, holding into the posture today. As you feel grounded, again, engage through our transverse abdominis muscle, that muscle that runs along the front of the belly, nice and tall for the torso. Let's take the arms up towards the ceiling. Right knees either down or we're pressing through the back heel for 1 more. Warrior 2. So we're dropping the right heel down, keeping a bend in that left knee. Left arm goes forward, right arm comes back. Warrior 2. For another 2. Another 1. Start to drop that left arm down to start to explore a side angle lunge on this side. So left arm is sitting just inside of the left thigh. The right arm comes out towards the ceiling. And I'm less open on this side, so my right arm's not coming so far back. So just listen to your body for 1 more breath. Let's bring the right hand down towards the mat to join the left. We're going to turn for our right toes and drop down onto our right knee. Bring the left hand up and over that left foot. Start to walk the hands back as we come to half splits on the left side. So we're finding a stretch this time for the left hamstring, curling our left toes towards our face this time. Again, if the hands aren't reaching the mat, that's all good. Feel free to take a thick book or maybe a block to rest the hands on. Again, we're energetically drawing our chest towards that left shin to find that stretch through the left hamstring for another 2. Another 1. On your next breath, start to come out to pose. Remove any props, taking a bend into that left knee. Take both hands on the inside of the left foot, and then in your own time, we're going to swing that left foot back and find ourselves meeting once again in our tabletop. We're going to come into one cat and cow here. Take the gaze up, tailbone goes high, belly comes down. Exhale, round in the upper back. As you're rounding, we're going to curl the toes under. Press our hands into the floor, lift up through the knees. Downward facing dog. Take a long inhale in through the nose. And exhale out. On the next breath, let's come high on the toes. Just jump or step forwards and meet at the front of the mat in our ragdoll. We're going to come into gorilla pose here. So we're going to take our hands underneath the soles of our feet. So once again, we're going to bend into the knees as much as we need. Keep bending until you can maybe take your fingers underneath your toes. Maybe the soles of the hand will go all the way underneath the soles of each respective foot. So keep bending into the knees and get as low as you can towards the ground so you can reach the underside of the soles. And either keep your legs, knees bent. Start to straighten out through your legs. As you're finding a stretch with the back of the legs, taking a gaze in between the hands. 2, for 1. Start to release out, at least one hand at a time. Just bend into the knees so the heels come up off the mat. Take the hands down to the floor. And let's walk the hands back behind us. Bring the bum down towards the mats. Take the arms out to the side on the outside of our respective legs, and knees are pointing up towards the ceiling. Slowly bring the back down towards the mat. See if we can just brush the back of the heels here. So the soles of the feet are flat on the floor. We're just going to come into our bridge pose to activate through the lower back. Take a deep inhale in. And as you exhale out, start to press the feet into the floor as we lift up through the hips. So engage through the quads. As we're lifting our hips towards the ceiling. Maybe placing the hands flat on the floor. Maybe take the hands and see if you can just grab your buttocks, your glutes. Just feel them engaged. As we're here for another 2. Another 1. Slowly release out. Come down, upper back, middle back, lower back. Just lengthen out through both legs. So now we're flat on the mat. Let the feet flop out to the side. Take your hands to a comfortable position. Maybe left hand on the belly, right hand on the heart, or vice versa. Maybe place your arms either side of the body. Let's take one deep inhale in, once more together. Breathe, breathe, breathe. And give it a long sigh out. I invite you to close your eyes. Come back into your natural breath as we embrace our final pose, Shavasana. Beware of any noise in the background and slowly just feel yourself detaching, removing your energy from the distractions. Maybe bring awareness to your breathing and let that be your form of meditation for the next few moments.
Be aware of any holding you might still be consumed within the body. If you're gripping through the hands or you're feeling tension in the shoulders, and just relax. On each exhale, feel your body softening. Feel yourself really becoming present on the mat here, without thinking about what happened this past week or what's ahead of you. Just come into the present moment. Now, it's always invited to stay in Shavasana, whether you're doing this live or on playback. Otherwise, start to find some movement through the feet and through the fingertips, through the hands. Maybe massage out through the back of the skull by shaking the head from left to right. Or your next inhale, just draw the knees into the chest. Give the knees one final hugging. As we're stretching out here for the lower back, find a length in the lower back. Hugging the knees in towards the chest. Let's rock up into a seated position, either coming onto the shins or coming cross-legged. Again, if you're watching some playback or you've got some time whilst this is on the live, you can stay where you are, stay in this meditative asana. The flow that we just undertaken is something that helps us come into stillness, something that helps us come into being able to maintain this seat position. Otherwise, it's a Sunday, it's afternoon, your belly might be rumbling, so let's bring our hands into prayer, and thank you for joining in this Sunday. I hope you have a great week ahead, and look forward to being back on the mat next week. Thank you, D-Man and B. Half Pigeon will be coming back. No problem, D-Man. Thank you, Alice. Good to see you once again. Hope you're keeping well. And I'll see you back on the mat. Take care, guys. Ciao. Bye-bye.